Growing up, I was the family's oops baby. My older brother Ronald was planned, celebrated, and documented in a baby book filled with firsts. I, on the other hand, was the surprise at 40, as my mother liked to tell anyone who'd listen. Ronald got skiing lessons, SAT tutors, in a car at 16. I got hand-me-downs and a figure-it-out-yourself. That imbalance was just the air I breathed. In 2012, when a hurricane was headed straight for our shoreline town, my parents were busy loading up the minivan to evacuate. Mom's cousins from Ohio were visiting and kept apologizing for taking up space, but Mom waved them off, insisting we'd never leave family behind. Ronald and his girlfriend got the middle row. The cousins got the back. And when I showed up with my backpack ready to go, my father stared at me like I was delusional. "There's no room," he said. "I lived in the basement apartment. I should just move everything upstairs." The house had survived storms since 1965, according to them. Mom's cousins looked uncomfortable, but she assured them that I preferred to stay. I watched them drive away. Ronald gave me a half-hearted wave from the window. The storm surge came fast. It flooded the basement, then the first floor, and forced me into the attic after a window exploded, slicing my leg open with glass. I spent 48 hours trapped, hypothermic and infected, until the Coast Guard finally rescued me. When the hospital contacted my parents, my dad's first question wasn't about my condition. He wanted to know whether I had saved the important office documents. It took them 3 weeks to visit, long after the cousins were safely back in Ohio. Mom walked into my hospital room and scolded me for not protecting the house. The nurse gasped as Mom insisted I should have known to leave before the water got that high, that anyone with common sense would have avoided needing rescue. That was the day I stopped being their child. With the small $3,000 disaster grant I received, I took courses in property restoration. Within a year, I moved out. Within 4 years, I was flipping flood-damaged houses, running my own construction company, and owning 8 properties. At Christmas one year, Ronald mentioned I was doing well. Dad scoffed. Anyone can make money off other people's tragedies. Mom chimed in smugly that I'd found my level working with ruined homes. They didn't know I had just purchased a $3 million beach house in Miami. Everything changed in 2020 when their house burned down. They'd ignored multiple electrician warnings, convinced it was all a scam. Mom called me sobbing, not to apologize, but to inform me that she and Dad needed to stay at my Miami house while they fought with insurance. When I told her no, she went silent. Then Ronald piped up that my place was huge and I should make room. That's when the smear campaign began. Mom called every relative, claiming I had hurricane-induced brain damage and was refusing to help out of spite. She repeated that I was damaged, as if my trauma had been my own fault. Dad emailed my business partner, accusing me of abandoning elderly parents and building my company on fraud. When that didn't work, Mom flooded Facebook with old family photos, captioned with lies about how I'd rather see them homeless than help. Then they crossed the line. Dad remembered a forgotten joint bank account from my teen years and drained $3,000, saying I owed them anyway for raising me. Mom filed for emergency assistance using my business address, claiming she was my dependent. When I contested it, she told the social worker I was having a psychotic break from PTSD. That was when I knew they'd used me until I had nothing left. Fortunately, the $3,000 withdrawal was already flagged by the bank. When investigators dug deeper, they uncovered everything. The forged assistance forms, fake